So today we're going to be learning about the distributive property. Before we go into the distributive property, let's do a quick warm-up. What I'd like you to do is find the least common multiple and the greatest common factor for both numbers 24 and 36. So take a moment to do that, and then we'll go over the answer. If we look at the number 24, we're first going to just do a quick number tree on it in terms of its multiples. I have 2 times 12, and then I have 2 times 6, and then I have 2 times 3, and I can find my factor tree there. I'm going to do the same thing for 36. If we look at 36, I can do 3 times 12. I can do 2 times 6, and then again 2 times 3. So if we take a look here, the least common multiple for both 24 and 36 is going to be the number 2. So that's how we see the least common multiple. And then if we look for the greatest common factor, we can see that the number 12 is the greatest common factor for both numbers 24 and 36. Moving forward, we'd like to take a look at these 4 questions. So take just a moment and answer these 4 questions, and then we'll discuss them as a class. So as you discussed with your table partners what it means to distribute, hopefully you came up with an idea of taking something and giving it to multiple places. I always like to think of mailmen. They come and they distribute mail to each house in the neighborhood. You can also think of it as like a pizza delivery man. If he goes out to distribute 5 pizzas to 3 different houses, he's distributing that group of pizzas to a certain amount of houses. And then this question here is, if I said that I was going to distribute cookies to the class, that means I would bring a certain number of cookies and I would distribute or give a small amount of cookies to each of the members in the class. Then this third question is, what does anything up against a parentheses mean? Hopefully you came up with the understanding or the discussion of anything within a parentheses can be evaluated separately, or potentially has its own value where you're supposed to figure out that value before moving on. And that's kind of the direction that we're going to go with today's lesson. And then with this table, to simplify these terms here, if you take a look here, it's pretty simple to see that we can just take 4 plus 3, and if we add those together, we get the number 7. And then if we have 2 times what's in those, we know that 2 times 7 equals 14. We can figure out the answer. Today, though, we're going to show you a different way to figure this out. When you came to this problem, you may have gotten stuck because it's not easy. You don't know what the value of x is, so you can't add 5x and 7 because you don't know the value. So that's how we're going to discuss how to use the distributive property to figure out the solution to problems like 2 times the quantity of 5x plus 7. To start off with, we need to understand what the distributive property is. When we look at the distributive property, what it means is to multiply a sum or a difference by a number. So if you take a look here, the sum of 7 plus 2 is being multiplied by the number 3. The difference of 7 minus 2 is being multiplied by the number 3 here. So you can multiply each number in the sum or the difference by the number outside the parentheses, and then you can evaluate. And you can see how they do that here. We have 3 times 7 is represented here, plus 3 times 2, and then you can figure out the solution to that. And the same thing here, 3 times 7 minus 3 times 2 to figure out the solution of this problem. And it's represented in algebraic terms here with the a, b, and c. The number a is going to be multiplied by the quantity b plus c. And the number a here is going to be multiplied by the difference of b minus c. And then what's going on here is the exact same thing that's happening right here with these numbers. So we're going to learn this and try it a few times today. When we take a look, though, we have to understand a little bit of mental math and how numbers work. So here we have 8 times 53. We could do that math, but we're going to do it in a little bit of a different way. We're going to use distributive property. So the way we're going to do it is to multiply 8 times 53. We're going to take 8 and we're going to put it on the outside of the parentheses, and then we're going to break down 53 into its parts of 50 plus 3. And so now that we know that it's 50 plus 3, we're going to go and we're going to take 8 times 50 and we're going to add that to 8 times 3. And this is what that would look like. 8 times 50 plus 8 times 3. That's what you're doing with distributive properties. You're distributing the 8 to both numbers inside that parentheses. And then we're going to figure out that 8 times 50 is 400, and 8 times 3 is 24. And then we just simply add those two together, and we have our answer. So this is what you guys are going to do on your own. So take a moment and you're going to do the same thing. I want to remind you before you get started is that you're going to take this 41 and you're going to break it into its parts. You're going to take this 19 and you're going to break it into its parts. And you're going to do the same with 37. So take a moment and work through these problems, and then we'll go over them as a class. For number 1, I'm going to take 5 and I'm going to multiply it by 40 plus 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 5 times 40, which is 200, and I'm going to multiply 5 times 1, which is 5. So I multiplied both of those, and now I'm going to just add those together, and I have 205. For number 2, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take 9 times 10 plus 9, and I'm going to multiply 9 by 10, which is 90, and I'm going to multiply 9 times 9, which is 81, and then I'm going to simply add those two together, which is 171, and I've got my answer. For number 3, same exact concept. I'm going to do 6 times the quantity of 30 plus 7, and I'm going to multiply 6 times 30, which is 180, and then 6 times 7, which is 42. Then I'm going to simply add those two together, and we should get 222. For our next problem, we're going to be doing the exact same things, but you'll notice that a little bit has changed. And when we look at this, you're going to notice that instead of a number, there's a letter, which we call a variable, which we use in algebraic terms, and we see that this problem is 4 times the quantity of n plus 5. We actually do the exact same thing with these problems. We just substitute any value for the letter n. So I'm going to take with a, I'm going to distribute 4 to n, and so I'm going to multiply 4 times n, and then I'm going to multiply 4 times 5, and it's 4 times 5 is 20. So that is my answer to 4 times the quantity of n plus 5. The reason that that's my answer is that we are simply simplifying the expressions. We are not trying to solve an equation. We are simplifying the equation. So for this, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to distribute 12 to both 2y and 3. The first one we'll do is 12 times 2 is 24. Don't forget to keep the y. We're going to keep our sign so we don't forget that. So it's minus, and then we go 12 times 3, which is 36. So to simplify this expression, it would be 24y minus 36. And we're going to do the same with C here. Notice though, I have 3 values inside my parentheses. So I actually have to distribute to all 3, and I have to keep the signs that are in between both. And if you see that there's not a sign in front of the 6, that means that it is a positive. So we're going to take 9 times 6 first, 54. Then we're going to take 9 times x, which is 9x. And then we're going to take 9 times 2, which is 18. I've done all my work, but there's one more thing to simplify this completely, and that's combining like terms. So I have a positive 18, and I have a positive 54. So I need to add those two together. And to do that, I'm going to go 72 plus 9x, and that is my answer to simplify this expression. So next, we're going to have you try 3 on your own to see how you do, and then we'll go over them and see if you can do this with algebraic thinking. For number 7, I'm going to distribute 7 to both a and positive 2. So I'm going to have 7a plus 14. And that's my answer for that. I'm going to slow down on number 8 for you. I'm going to rewrite it here so you can see it. Now, as a reminder, we're distributing 3 to both d and negative 11. I'm going to distribute 3 to d and then to negative 11. So to simplify this, it's going to be 3d minus 33. And that's my answer. For number 9, I'm going to do the same thing. I have 7 times 2 plus 6 minus 4d. I'm going to distribute 7 to 2, and then 7 to positive 6, and then 7 to negative 4d. My first one is 7 times 2, which is 14. Next is 7 times 6, which is 42. And then last is 7 times negative 4d, which is negative 28d. I'm not quite done yet, though, because I have a positive 42 and a 14 that need to be added together because they are common terms. They are like terms. So my answer is going to be 56 minus 28d, and I have simplified that equation. So hopefully this is making sense to you. You're going to prove it with your homework. So for homework today, it's in textbook, page 137. And you're going to be working on 17 through 31, just the odds. Good luck, and if you need any help, let us know.